Hey, Roar Squad of Lions News Fan Report, ignite that like button if you're ready to ride this roller coaster with me. Because today we're standing at the edge of a football earthquake that could shake Detroit's very soul. Picture this. Our ironclad anchor in the trenches, Frank Ragnow, who stood like a fortress for Jared Goff's every snap, has abruptly walked away from the gritty and glory, forcing us to confront the unthinkable. Could this seismic shift finally compel Brad Holmes to swing for the fences on a game-changing centerpiece? Is he gutsy enough to wager our championship dreams on a fresh face, or will we be left scrambling for stability when the whistle blows? Remember the surgically precise leadership Ragnow provided his silent commands at the line, the instinctual protection that turned blitzes into non-events, the way he transformed chaos into clockwork brilliance? Now, imagine the void that yawns open in his absence, a void that threatens to swallow our run game's momentum and unsettle our carefully choreographed passing attack. Will David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs still charge through gaping creases? Or will that once ferocious ground assault fizzle under the weight of interior uncertainty? Could this be the moment where Detroit sheds its old skin and emerges reborn? Or is it the prelude to a painful identity crisis where every defensive front in the league circles like vultures, smelling weakness from a mile away? As we sift through, the options veteran stopgaps with chunky resumes, unproven rookies brimming with raw talent, or even a surprise trade dangling like forbidden fruit one name surges from the rumor, mill with electric force, Trey Hendrickson. Before you balk at another buzzworthy headline, hear me out. Could this relentless edge rusher, who grew from undrafted odds and ends to one of the league's most feared hunters, be the adrenaline shot our front seven desperately needs? What if Hendrickson's explosive first step and knack for bending the pocket are exactly the antidote to our recent pass rush drought? Imagine him lining up opposite Aiden Hutchinson, two hunters unleashing chaos on quarterbacks before they can blink. Is it possible that pairing Hendrickson's seasoned savvy with Hutchinson's raw power could birth the deadliest duo in the NFC North? And let's not forget the ripple effect. If opposing QBs are sweating before reaching the line, will our secondary blossom into one of the league's stealthiest ball-hawking units? Or is this nothing more than a high-stakes gamble that could blow up in our faces, leaving us cap-strapped and scrambling for answers come December? Could the chemistry between Hendrickson and our coaches transcend X's and O's, forging a brotherhood that elevates every snap into a statement of intent? Or will fitting him into our defensive puzzle tear at the seams of camaraderie built around Ragnow's departure? Lions fans, the air is thick with possibility and peril alike. This isn't just roster turnover, it's a defining crossroads, where legacy meets ambition, where grit confronts change, and where one bold move could propel Detroit into a new era of dominance or send us tumbling back into the shadows of mediocrity. As the countdown to Week 1 ticks away, every practice rep without Ragnow's steadying hand will feel like a heartbeat skipped in slow motion, each one pounding with questions that sting sharper than a freezing Detroit breeze. Will Brad Holmes answer the call with the kind of blockbuster courage that rewrote our destiny 2 years ago? Or will we find ourselves staring at empty cleats in the dirt, wondering what might have been? Buckle up, because the next chapter is poised to unleash a storm of passion, speculation, and high-octane drama, and you won't want to miss a single thunderclap. Asterisk. If you believe the Lions are finally ready to roar, hit that like, and let's finish what we started. Imagine our defensive line transformed overnight into a relentless juggernaut, where every snap pulses with raw energy and opposing quarterbacks tremble at the mere sight of Honolulu blue and silver bearing down on them. Picture Trey Hendrickson exploding off the edge beside Aiden Hutchinson, two predators stalking the backfield in perfect unison, ripping apart offensive game plans like paper targets in the wind. We've seen flickers of this brilliance before Hutchinson's rookie surge with 9 sacks in 2022. The thunderous roar of Ford Field as David Montgomery bulldozed through creases, but this would be something altogether more fearsome. A partnership, forged in cinematic fury, the kind that resurrects memories of Barry Sanders darting past would-be tacklers and fills our veins with the same electric hope. Could Detroit's identity shift from plucky underdog to outright nightmare? What if our defensive front becomes so suffocating that every rival's cornerstone quarterback finds himself scrambling in panic, forced into hurried throws that our secondary can feast upon? Think back to the days when we last hoisted a division crown. In 1993, our defense carried us, snapping winning streaks and rewriting expectations. Is it too bold to say that adding Hendrickson could spark a renaissance rivaling that storied era? And what of our fan base, starved for playoff triumphs and primetime glory, aching to believe again? Imagine the electricity coursing through downtown Detroit on game day, the collective breath held as our front seven lines up, Hendrickson crouched in his stance like a coiled spring ready to unleash carnage. Can you feel it, the heart-stopping suspense when the ref's hand drops? The explosion of sound that follows every sack, every forced fumble recovered by our tirelessly hustling defense? Could this be the catalyst that finally pushes us past the paper-thin walls that have kept us from true contention? There's a history of heartbreak to overcome, from agonizing near misses in 2016 and 2021 to that gut-wrenching playoff drought that feels like a lifetime. But envision the smile on Dan Campbell's face, the spark in Jared Goff's eyes, knowing that the man at the line of scrimmage is as lethal rushing the passer as he was protecting the pocket. What might that confidence do for our entire offense, for our very soul as a franchise? Let's contrast this with the hapless left tackle in Green Bay, the shaky interior line in Minnesota. Our rivals are already jittering at the prospect of Hendrickson donning Detroit's colors. They've tasted our rising prowess. Now, they'd be forced to reckon with an even more ferocious wave crashing down upon them. Could the fear of Hendrickson-Hutchinson blitz packages redefine the NFC North hierarchy, turning Aaron Rodgers into a deer in headlights or Kirk Cousins into an easy mark? And beyond the stats, the 12.5 sacks Hendrickson notched last season, his knack for clutch game-changing plays lies the intangibles, the veteran savvy, the locker room leadership, the fiery determination that rubs off on rookies and inspires every teammate to reach higher. Imagine rookie Tate Ratledge soaking up that wisdom in practice, a young lion learning how to hunt at the side of a proven champion. Doesn't that sound like the perfect recipe for sustainable greatness? Of course, every blockbuster gamble carries risk. What if Hendrickson struggles to sync with Aaron Glenn's defensive schemes? What if the lofty price tag hamstrings our cap flexibility in seasons to come? These questions linger like storm clouds on the horizon, but sometimes the greatest rewards demand the boldest moves. We face a pivotal choice: settle for incremental improvements and watch our title window flicker, or seize the moment, swing for the fences, and etch our names into history. Will Brad Holmes have the courage to pull that trigger, to bet big on a player whose arrival could send shockwaves through the NFL? And when that first Tennessee Titan or Dallas Cowboy quarterback is knocked to the turf by a perfectly executed stunt, will Detroit's roar echo across the league, announcing our arrival as true contenders? So here we stand on the precipice of possibility, each heartbeat a drumroll toward what could be the most electrifying off-season decision in recent memory. The path forward is fraught with uncertainty, but isn't that what makes this so intoxicating? As the sun sets on Ragnow's legacy and dawn breaks on this new era, we must decide whether to embrace the adrenaline-charged unknown or cling to the safety of the familiar. Lions fans, this is our moment to unite, to ignite our collective roar, and to watch history unfold before our very eyes. The stage is set, the players in position, and the only question left is, are we ready to pounce?